welcome back. This is still Breakfast Daily Weekend right here on Channel One TV. Jude had an insightful conversation with Nana Fridia, but right now we're about to talk about windows. Windows and window wonders. So exploring the latest trends and styles and curtains and blinds. So if you remember, Jude said he saw somebody who had red and black curtains, and so
and he went to Fansipim
to help us.
He went to Fansipim.
Fansipim school. He went to
Yeah.
Fansipim school. You want the Fansipim boys to come and beat us?
That was the school.
But helping us to, demystify the red and black curtains is Samira Didisa Raji. She's a real estate consultant and certified marketing strategist. Samira, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing? It's always a pleasure to have you on our show.
I feel very great to be here as well. Thank you for having me.
You're
You know the
welcome.
funny thing, when we last discussed the flooring, right, and how some people use styles for virtually everything, a friend of mine was like, Jude, I feel attacked by your guest. I was like, yeah.
Wait.
So,
What floor does he have?
tiles,
He has tiles throughout the house.
The sink everywhere.
Oh,
I'm
right.
telling you. So, yeah, it was like he felt attacked. But the pleasant news is it wasn't his personal space.
Right.
Okay.
He went in to meet it.
Right.
And he's had some struggles trying to change it to meet his style. But that's a conversation for another day.
Hence, they should reach out to me.
They should reach out
to professionals and let's help them be able to change
You
their
should
space.
put out your socials and your number at the end of the discussion.
Very well.
But we are discussing window wonders.
Right.
It's a very important conversation because now you go into some spaces, a large space, there are no proper demarcations. So now they use like wood to do some, especially in offices, right? They use the wood to do demarcations. And now there's no proper ventilation. And after every 30 minutes, the stuffiness of the place and the ensuing stench.
Overpowers the whole room.
Yeah, and it's not like it's someone's fault. It's just maybe poor ventilation. So I like how you couch the topic around window wonder.
Absolutely.
Are there any other wonders we should be interested in?
Everything in your space is a wonder. It sets your tone, it sets your mood, it sets...
No, I like
it
the
makes you
wood part
vibrant.
because Charlie's always.
Yeah, so definitely, whatever you do to your windows, windows could be part of the major areas of your room. So then it allows in light, it allows in a lot of things. So when you put in the right things, either being a curtains or a blind, and depending on what color it is, it sets a certain tone, mood, and style. And when somebody gets into your space, they can tell this is an NO space or a Jude space.
Absolutely. And even feel.
Absolutely.
So what type of curtains are available to us?
There are various types, and first of all, let me explain. You could either choose between a curtains or a blind. You could use blinds either in your bedroom or your living areas, and you could also use your curtains in different spaces. All depends on you. People would want to have the very fabric-like looking space like what we have on the screens right now with a pop of color to make sure that it sets the mood right. Others who just want to be very minimalistic. They would want just their blinds there. Now, in terms of the type of curtains, they have ones that will get you a very dark space. We were discussing of how
the blackout
we would have a blackout
curtain.
curtains. So it also depends on the various seasons. You would probably want to have a dark room early in the morning. You don't want all the sun rays coming into your room for you to wake up as early as you should. Others will want a very light fabric material that would allow a bit of sunshine because then they are tired of having all that dark moods in there. So yeah, basically it depends on the individual.
The individual. Yeah.
My concern goes back to what I was talking about, right? The need to create proper ventilations. I want you to talk to us about how big or small your window should be, the ideal window setup, and for the kind of space you have.
Left to me alone, I like very wide, big, floor-to-ceiling kind of windows. Because then you are allowed to open your curtains, you're allowed to pull up your blinds to get your natural lights flashing into your house. Others would, because of maybe security reasons, maybe afraid of the fact that you have very wide windows, so then they'll do quite small ones up at the top. then that leads us to ventilation. The bigger the window, the better the ventilation. If not, then you'd have to install other things like your AC, fans, and all of that to help with the ventilation. But why struggle when you can have a bigger window, open up, your lights flashing to your house?
So you see the window that came on our screen before this, sorry, the curtains.
Right.
So, right. So can you say the kind of window you have determines the curtains and the blinds you use, in that if you're in a certain office space, a shared office space, you can't have some of those rope-like curtains.
Right.
Right. I rather go for blinds. I don't know, just stop.
Right.
Because we watch movies, we like this is a world traveler.
Right.
I don't think when
like
you go
yourself.
to UK, you see a lot of the curtains.
It's blinds.
It's mostly blinds. So is it like a geographical thing, or it's a
an
choice?
Easy choice, and quite a good choice as well. It's simple, straightforward. It demarcates what you want to do. Very minimalistic as well. Curtains give a bit of character in there. So if you are looking to have an office space with a lot of character of curtains being there, it may not be appropriate. It doesn't mean it's not possible. You could do that. But then you are better off choosing a blind. And there are blinds in different materials. So you could have a metallic one, you could have a wooden one, you could have a plastic one. And then they're in different colors as well. So whatever that can blend with your wall, just so as then you can have a conducive environment to be able to do whatever that is in that particular space.
In terms of costs, which one is more effective?
When it comes to money matters, just people will come to me. There are budget-friendly options available. We are available to help you find something for your budget, because at every city, you could get something, either being a curtain or a blind. But then with curtains, there are different fabrics which come with different costs. So then you may want to start from a particular point and then graduate to
it's interesting.
But luxury would always come at a cost.
You know, like I'm saying,
sometimes.
some way. But going back to the way you couch the topic, window wonders, we also see the emerging trend where people opt for windows or glasses where you sort of are able to see when you're inside, but when you're outside, you can't really see
Privacy.
Exactly. So will you say it's also maybe a cost-effective way, because it doesn't come with curtains? Most of them would have that and will not have curtains. So what's happening with that one too?
So with your window, you could have a glass like you explained right now. But I said initially that curtains or blinds adds to the style and then the mood or whatever you receive when you come into your space. Glass alone may not do that.
Actually.
It may give you the privacy you are looking for, but then that additional fabric in there, being it either a curtain or a blind, then adds to the space. You're not looking to be in a boring space. No, you have a stressful life.
Right.
Get into a comfortable space.
Keeping these kinds of curtains like we have back on the screen right behind you is a full-time job.
Yes.
Because Charlie, imagine, so some way, if you don't have like too much money,
It's not about money, Jude.
Thank you. It's
if you take these 4 on the screen to a laundry, you know how much you're going to pay, because you can't wash it yourself.
Yeah, you could, depending on what you.
That.
If you have a good laundry space in your house, then you would be able to do it yourself.
Some
if
of them
not,
are so heavy.
Good. That's why you need to have different color patterns, fabric, different types of fabrics. It helps with cleaning. It makes it easier. Alternatively, just go for blinds. Then you just be able to clean it up nicely. You don't have to take your blinds to the laundry to get it done. And blinds work. Being at your bedroom, being in your living room, being at your study, it works. So if you are looking at a challenge of having it being washed periodically, and that would give you an extra cost, opt for blinds. And that's where the cost saving comes in. Because then you get one quality blind, and then it's there for as long as it would be, and cleaning it wouldn't be so difficult.
So I'm going to talk to us about color choices. How do you determine that this color would suit my living room or my bedroom?
The color of your wall would be pie. your furniture colors you have here. Let's take this studio, this setup. We have a few of color pops here. You may want to go for something very subtle to blend in. You don't want to go for the black and red, and then you add that to it to make your
space. The to start coming after you.
But then, yes, obviously, you could reach out to me as well, and I'll help you choose. We would have a customized choice for you, looking and understanding your space, and then we'll do that.
Because why are you having a black and red curtain? It's like...
Is it a curtain?
Maybe his chairs are white.
The chairs white.
It was brown or something. Even worse. Wow. There's a message here. It says, I like to use the blinds because I'm able to regulate the amount of sunlight that comes into my living area. But sometimes I feel the heat a lot.
Absolutely.
Do you get that a lot?
Well, with blinds, not necessarily, because then you could open it and you could close it. You could pull it up or close it.
So he says that he's able to regulate the amount of sunlight.
Sunlight that comes in, but because of the heat. And then that's why I said then you need other things to support that. That's your fan, your ecosystem, your air conditioning, everything needs to come in to help. Hence, have bigger glasses, open up, let a lot of fresh air come into your space.
Stop using some kind of curtains, right? But you also see like other people use very, not the word is not inferior, but like very
silky with the colors, the red, something.
It's all fabrics and patterns. That pattern or that fabric could work in a different space, depending on what is in there. But then you can have a color concentrated space and be having curtains in different patterns. When you get in, it becomes heavy. Then it sets your mood off. But then if it depends, you need something must give. Either you're having a very pattern, full of pattern-like curtains and a very minimalistic interior spaces, colors and designs, or you go very simple with whatever you have in there and be heavy on your curtains so that it can blend properly. But when you have both, it wouldn't work properly. Somebody may say, this is what works for me, but then your spaces allow you to host, and you are supposed to have your people being hosted in a space that works properly for you and yourself.
You spoke about mood. Right. So does that mean that your curtain or your blinds can affect?
Absolutely. Let's look at the yellow. There's a curtain picture that has this yellow and white that I shared. I'm sure it'll come on the screen soon. Looking at that color calms you. Just look at that.
Yeah. And I like the cowrie details.
Absolutely.
It's
so
very nice.
you're not doing too much with it, but then it's setting your mood right. So you go home and you have a lot on your mind. You relax. Just even looking at this could calm you down than the black and red that our friend has.
It's interesting. So like as a real estate consultant, I'm sure your line of work, you come up across a lot of these new apartments, these new loft spaces where they don't really opt for the curtains, right?
Yes.
What's like the latest trend in vogue right now?
It's two. They do go for the blinds. Alternatively, they have the smart curtains because now you could actually regulate your curtains using an app on your phone. So you don't necessarily have to go pull your curtains manually. You could actually set that. Same with it. There are smart homes options on the market, from your lights to your curtains to your sound system in your house. It's all done right on your phone on the app.
Able to regulate or open and close your blinds. It's
your
not just
curtains.
your curtains.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
We are going at a really fast pace.
Currently, it's trendy in terms of having smart homes.
Okay.
Hence, you still have to reach out to us and let you know what it takes you to afford that. It doesn't come off at a big budget. It's something you can afford.
Samira, is your budget our budget?
No.
You know.
Wow. I mean, it's interesting. It's something a lot of people don't pay attention to until you start experiencing some level of comfort. Then now you have to go back and try and remedy the situation.
But change.
I wish we could spend some time talking about making sure that people pay attention to it as a first port of call, right? And not now after experiencing some challenges. Because I was talking to you about, they don't really look at the ventilation aspect. They just want to create space. So now they create the space and they realize that it's an open public space. 10 people are sharing the space. And the experiences, they are different, right? Maybe somebody goes and sleeps somewhere the following
One of
morning.
my friend's apartment, talking about the ventilation, I don't know how the apartment was built, beautiful apartment, but when you enter, the heat emanating from the space, because the windows are not, you know, opposite each other or not wide enough, so even when she opens up the windows,
the air is not
space
circulating.
it's not circulating.
Right.
The space is
And
so
that could
hot.
like have possible health complications.
And air
Absolutely.
condition is always on, and it's also not,
Absolutely.
you know, functioning efficiently because it's struggling to keep the place cold. It's a struggle.
There are basic things to do to be able to get a better result. First of all, one, you consult an expert, or there are various interior decorators available where you could seek for their expertise. Alternatively, you could go on Pinterest or you go on Google. You could search basic things to
I
look
would
out
advise
for.
that, yeah, there's DIY, but there's also reaching out to experts, right?
Absolutely.
Because, yeah, sometimes that's how they end up with black. So somebody's able to
Make it work in their space, but yours may not be able to work.
So talking about reaching out to consultants, maybe you should just share how they can reach you on socials and all other platforms where you're on.
Very well. You can reach me on LinkedIn with Samira Saraji, on Instagram as Miss Saraji. Absolutely that. Then on phone number 0245 147 558. Yeah.
Before you leave, what is that one thing that we should not do under any circumstances whatsoever when it comes to fixing or managing your window, your curtains, and the likes?
Don't combine a heavy pattern curtains with a busy colored or featured space. It becomes too much. It becomes heavy. It sets your mood off. Immediately you enter into your room.
Samira, thank you so much.
My church people won't be too happy with you, but it's fine.
Church of Pentecost.
You did have to mention it.
Let me mention it.
You did have to mention
Church of
it.
Pentecost. Oh, you guys use curtains?
I don't know. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Yeah.
All right, Samira, thank you so much.
Thank you for
And it's a
having me.
pleasure having you here as always.
You know, we had to rush the conversation, but we still got all that.
Yes.
No,
All the
Raji day form.
education.
You're a big woman.
You're a big woman.
Thank you for
All
having
right,
me.
so that was Samira. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.